All right, on to number 6. So I'm going to tell you a story. My father passed very quickly from a very aggressive cancer. I came home from the funeral. I was exhausted. It had been a pretty trying time for me. And my dear husband put me to bed. And then he said, I'm taking the kids to the pool. So I'm sound asleep, and I don't know how long I was asleep. There's pounding on my door. So I'm run downstairs, can't figure out why there's pounding on my door. I've got the police there. I've got my neighbor there, because I'd had my phone shut off. And Miss Frisch, there's been a horrible accident. Okay? So I get in my car, I get to the accident scene, I see my minivan completely totaled, my family's nowhere in sight, there's ambulances, the other vehicle, the drive, like, it was awful, okay? And I was angry, and I was scared, and I was looking, and I was trying to figure things out, and people weren't being helpful, and it was just complete chaos. And I remember just thinking, my dad just died, this sucks, right? And I watched all of you go, oh, you guys got it, like the awfulness of it. So what I did, though, because I do this for a living and I've taught myself, it's a practice, it's a habit for me, is I literally looked at the frame at which I was assessing everything and realized this is not a good frame. And so the good news was I finally got around the minivan and saw my husband and 2 children still standing and very minorly injured. And it was the best day of my life, right? So I would love to tell you that dealing with the insurance and having my children be in physical therapy for 6 months, and all that stuff was not pleasant. But what I practiced through that whole thing, so that not only did it not take me out, it's an incredible memory and one of the best days of my entire life to date, is a practice they teach you in courses called emotional resilience. Has anyone ever taken an emotional resilience course? No one. Okay. So think about the people who survived the concentration camps during World War II. What they discovered when they studied these people is this practice they had mastered. So reframing is this. When I saw all that, the first thing I said was, I can handle this. Well, no matter what I'm going to walk into, I'm going to figure it out. Like that reframing voice already went in my head. I need to just find my family. I need to, and so all of a sudden when I reframed it, it was like, this just happened. They told me they're alive. Whatever it is, we're going to get through it. I walked over, started suddenly from being like sitting there literally going, I was in action. I even had enough sense. I checked all my family out. We realized what we had to do and not do. I even went to this huge place of gratitude. I literally walked over and kissed the car. Because I got to tell you, when you walk to an auto scene and your entire car is crushed, but the cavity that held your precious family is still there, it's a pretty good day. So what I want to invite you to do and realize that in behavior change, those who can change their behavior can take anything from a concentration camp experience in Auschwitz to a horrible car accident that did have months of stuff that had to be dealt with, and reframe it, retell the story from gratitude and appreciation and what you learned and what the opportunity was. So one of the things I often do when I have a client come to me that's in a very down space, and those of you who are managers, just when you have an upset employee, you can actually do this with them, and it helps them build that change in resilience, is 5 minutes of daily gratitude, and when they have their thing, actually help them reframe. Say, you know what, I get this really was bad, But let's talk about everything that went right around it. What did you do right? What went right? So you get them focused in the right space. That's the action space. That's the change space. They can do it instead of get stuck in the drama of it.